collection of burnt out matches is growing on the candle. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Comment Corner. And most importantly, welcome to the star of the show, Ka.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you guys.
So let's tune into the moment. I have here written, as a result of my Sunday sit-down routine, I've written that it's a Sunday agenda for the day, even though we are actually filming on a Saturday. It's about 7 p.m. actually. The sun is going down right now and it's quite a beautiful view from our balcony. And we are here to have a good Saturday sit-down instead and chat about Ka's journey of journaling and his love of fountain pens. That's the plan for the day. And this will be going up tomorrow though, so I guess it is a Sunday agenda for you who is viewing this on a Sunday. We will be in Bath Spa, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's a city in the UK that's famous for their baths. And we will be going there for a celebration of Ka's birthday, which is on Monday. Hence, we will not be here sitting down on a Sunday and doing the video. But we are very excited to have kind of this quite a special conversation today, a Common Corner collaboration part 2. Ka didn't get to be a part of it when we filmed with my sisters in Finland, so I thought that he deserves his own video.
Yeah.
Ka, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Ka, and I'm Elle's partner. We have been doing journaling for a while, and I think it's mainly Elle inspired me to do journaling, mainly using the system I'm using now, and then learning all the different technique, the word, the terminology to journal. And I was having so much fun since I first using the Hobonichi cousin avec and also the fountain pen. I think the first time I was using the fountain pen, we were in Eastbourne, and I just enjoy so much. Like, just feel like I can like really go in with the flow by sketching, drawing, and writing. And then I haven't introduced myself. So I'm artist. I do digital art and also some digital design. So artist and designer and also filmmaker. And I think my main practice is digital work, digital software, and then using everything in digital. And that's how that's my main practice, to do artwork. And I think I've been doing using computer for a while, doing all the sketching with mouse, and and then I think it's good to switching to analog these days.
Yeah.
A lot of sketching.
So it's changed quite a bit. Your practice has changed whenever this analog system was introduced to your life.
And then it's kind of like my main practice recently. For me to like jotting down all the idea visually, and also some sketching I will show later on.
All right, good introduction, I would say. So part 1 is done. Part 2, Q&A with Ka. This actually includes also some questions that you have left in the community tab of my channel. Huge thank you for those questions. They were really interesting. And then finally, I thought that if Ka is up for it, we'll have a little chat about some stamps that he's created. Because personally, as a stationery enjoyer, he created some stamps, and I think that was very, very exciting for me. So I'd love to do a little section on that at the end. Then I thought that I would do my usual weekly flip through, as I always do, no matter what the kind of video is. But I think we're just gonna focus on this conversation today, so that we're not limited by time. And I will do, cover this week's pages in my Hobonichi Cousin avec next week instead. So let's get started with the Q&A. So you kind of already touched on it, that you've been doing digital art for quite a while now. And recently, I think you've been doing some sketching also on paper while you've been doing your digital art, but recently it's become more of a habit. So do you want to talk about how you're kind of analog journey began, as well as how did your journaling journey begin?
Yeah, I study architecture in the past, and I think sketching is kind of like a main practice to sort of communicate certain idea related to space and design, and I've been doing a lot of like sketching in the past, but those things is just for architecture and design purpose. Yeah, and I've been doing a lot of like also digital design, and and then I actually start with like doing more like sketching maybe 3-4 years ago, when I have whenever I have really best stomach ache. I remember we went to Greece, and like 3 years ago.
3 years ago exactly. Yeah.
And then we were in a Greek island.
I think that was actually 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah. So like I think I have a chronic like stomach ache, like I think it's IBS, or like sometimes it's like related to lactose intolerance. And in the past, the only way to calm down, let's say it's really struggling to like sit down when I have the pain. If I can't walk around, and then I will just try to like distract myself by just drawing, and then I can focus on the pen, and then to do different kind of sketching or drawing, and then I can feel the brush like touching the paper. And actually this book is actually the one I started with when I have the stomach pain, and then just like doing a lot of like different kind of sketching. And I remember this actually the main pen I was using before getting introduced by to fountain pen. I've been using this a lot, and it's actually from the cast art. Tumble. It's Tumble. They sell in cast art, and I really liked the brush here, and then they also have like a small nib, as you call nib, or something. I don't know.
I don't know actually. Yeah. Felt tip.
Yes, a small tip. Yeah. And then I really like I with this part, like the brush going on the paper, and I find it's really satisfying and then really calming me when I do a lot of drawing and then sketching. But most of them at that time was mainly interior and then space, because of my architectural practice. And then a lot of the places I went to, like in London, some art gallery. Actually this is from Els, these two. two really cool character drawing.
It's my
like
style.
Els characters.
Thank you.
Really cool.
I was just I really liked Car's brush pens, and actually at the time I wasn't really doing a lot of drawing or even journaling at that time in 2022. So whenever I had the chance, I would do a bit of doodling in your books. Because I actually consider this kind of method is also it's a journaling for me, because I just, even I don't really write down the date, the time, but I can remember where I do it, and then some of and also like a sketchbook / journaling, I can look at, because at that time I also do journaling, but I mainly typing on my iPad, because I only can write when I was maybe later on, because in the past I can't really read a lot of book, because my learning difficulty, and then I find it hard to read book, and only dyslexia.
But I haven't get like diagnosed it, but like when I was young, I was really difficult to write and read. But these days, like I am, because of my my job or like my career, I have to read a lot of screenplay, and also something related to text stories, and how those stories like related to visual art or film. And I read a lot. But like that's how I start writing a lot, and then doing journaling to like a practice for me is I like writing also screenplay and script, but at the time I was just only typing on my iPad, and always like before I fall asleep, and then just I really like just like when I feel relaxed, when I lie in the bed and then just writing what happened for the day. But I always have a habit to kind of twist it to a short story, kind of fictional, and then ended up I don't think it's a journaling. Ended up
just ended up being a fictional short story.
Yeah, fictional short story
from your real life.
Yeah, from my real life. But it was like I started maybe 3.5 years ago. Yeah, at that time, or 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago you started doing
and then writing
that.
every yeah.
Yes, and writing every day.
Writing every night. Yeah, so now just go back to this book. So this is more like sketchbook or like journaling, like visual journaling. I don't know how to call it.
Visual journaling is really nice.
Yeah.
Because it's quite often originating from what you were thinking that day, where you were.
And then it's the feeling. And then now I just look at it. Like mainly this one is like this kind of organic shape is actually when I was doing it, I just keep thinking about my stomach, my stomach, and when I'm doing this, I still remember we were in Ramsgate, and then in the hotel, and now I look at the hotel room, I feel so pain in my stomach.
Yeah, Car's had this kind of IBS issue for some time now, and
but now it's getting
investigations done as well. So it's not IBD, it's nothing. It doesn't get classified as like inflammatory bowel disease, but rather just inflammatory bowel syndrome. So he has the pain, and it's the cause of it is quite unknown, but he's had it for some time now. Although it is getting better these days, which is really amazing.
It's getting better these days. So like in the past, when I like have like really bad moment when I have the stomachache, and I would just do this kind of drawing. Like the shape is like similar to the intestine, the lining.
Lining.
Lining. And
so it's called like villi of the intestine. It looks like this to increase the absorption of food inside of the intestine. I was so surprised when Carl said that he's doing this kind of shape because he's inspired from the lining of the intestine where the pain is coming from.
I think of course
it's just something so new for
it's
me.
also inspired me to know, like to actually study more about what the shape is. We just talk about it when I have the pain, and I look at those like images from your textbook or like from school material, and then it's always like in my mind when I have the pain and always think about it, and that's how I start with this. And then some shape, some design, some sketching, because at that time I was really into like furniture and sculpture. So like 2-3 years ago, 2 years ago, I've been mainly using this as a like a journaling practice to recording my life, my feeling, especially have a pain and some emotions going on. I would just like put it on this book.
And you have actually a few of those books, so we were just choosing one of many from the past few years. There's a lot of these. And I really like that you say that this is your journaling practice of capturing your feelings, because it's very different from kind of the stereotypical journaling practice where it's just pages of words. But now you are really kind of reflecting on your day-to-day life with sketching. So I find that really nice.
And then it's also like a sort of like a medicine kind of for me to make me calm down, to feel, to distract my pain or like distract my emotion sometime, and then to focus on drawing, and then you just make me feel happy somehow. The process.
Exactly. Nice. So where did we then go from there?
From here, we should, recently. Recently. So after like recently, we started. I started like maybe in May or June when we went to Eastbourne.
It was 15th of July.
Oh, 15th of July. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a bit like nervous. Maybe
it's okay. I know. It's okay. It's okay. So I think the story.
We can start with that.
So I had gotten my first fountain pen, end of June. But I was doing quite a lot of studying at that point for my finals, as some of you might know, and I was very, very preoccupied with that, and that also limited me and Car's time together. After I had finished my exams, we wanted to go for a little day trip somewhere, and we chose Eastbourne, which is in this kind of southeast coast of England, a really lovely town that we've actually been to once before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was staying at Car's the day before, and then kind of showing him my fountain pen, like, you should try drawing with this, like, it's such an amazing feeling. And he then drew these characters. And we were talking about your like childhood games and
childhood
characters,
online game.
and this is how you started drawing these characters that were inspired from your childhood game.
Yeah.
And this has kind of continued on a bit.
Yeah.
So this was the first day that you tried it. It was the day before we went on the 14th. And then the next day we went to Eastbourne, and we were actually sitting by the coast after visiting a stationery store there. And we were both drawing in our own notebooks, and you were using my other fountain pen and I was using so I had two fountain pens at the time.
Yeah, I was.
You were using this one, this classic Kaweco Sport in Burgundy, and you were using this one and I was using my Kaweco All Sport. So we were both drawing with fountain pens, and it was really a great time by the coast. So I guess that's when you were really kind of getting into drawing with fountain pen.
Yeah, and at that time I was really like inspired by certain like characters from like an old online video game called like Maple Story. It's a Korean game, online game, and I was playing that a lot when I was young. And then there's a lot of like creatures, characters, and monster in the game. And I just feel like, like when I think about it, I just feel like, I think about my childhood a lot.
Yeah.
Just thinking about those time playing the game with my schoolmate.
Yeah.
And especially like I moved to London for a while, and then I haven't have any chance and to go back to seeing all those like primary school friends. And then when I look at the game again, the character, and just thinking about the past a lot, like my childhood a lot. And then those character I been like studying at that time, just like looking at, and then there's a chance, and then Elle introduced me to use the fountain pen, and I just feel like, wow, it's really good pen, and then I just to try to use it, and I just feel like, it's really light pen, and then the texture is really good. When the nib touching the paper, I just feel like really good feedback from the paper to the pen, and especially doing the curve, like doing certain circle or curve, and I just really like it. Just really like the feeling, like it's like going with the flow, and then just free flowing, and then really smooth. And the pen is really short, really light. I feel like I don't need to use any effort to do sketching. And just fell in love with this. And just keep drawing, and then doing a lot of like different kind of sketching, and then the view when we're sitting in the bench in Eastbourne, like the coast, and then looking at the sea, and then just remember, like, just imagining there's some those character monster I've been seeing when I was young by playing video game, and then just put in the world, and then just at the same time was trying using the pen, and how can I use it, and then I just feel like there's somehow just really free flowing, and this is other.
So in comparison, like I remember when we were drawing the same view. So this is what I drew, but my imagination is not really as vivid as Ka. So I just drew what I was able to see. And then I look to my side, and then Ka has created this amazing, like, creative view of, like, all of these little creatures. And then the stones were, like, these guys were, like, singing, kind of. And then kind of, so I just wanted to show this as comparison. So we were looking at the same view, but then Ka created this, and then I had created this. And I just thought it was such a great time. Kind of, it was the first time that we really connected on fountain pens.
Yeah.
We were both using a fountain pen to draw, and it was just it's just a really good memory for me.
Yeah. Yeah, and then in the beginning, it's just want to feel the pen and to try to use it.
Yeah.
But actually, this is my one of my art practice. At that time, I really want to externalize certain character to my digital artwork, like a digital world I created, and then this is just like an inspiration for that day and the character, and then fair enough.
Fell in love, yeah.
And then this the in the restaurant. And,
we were eating, and then this is the restaurant table, and then apparently this is me, or I don't know where I am. I was sitting here.
Yeah, I was sitting here.
Yeah, and then there was the ocean, and it was raining, and it was really
and there's
fun.
some really interesting lamp in the restaurant.
Yeah.
And I really like the lamp, the lighting.
Yeah.
And all the cutlery.
Yeah, this is the cutlery. Yeah. Yeah, so like that's how it all began, and we came home. And actually, Ka had been wanting to get his own Hobonichi cousin avec for a while, and he found one where he can just get the one from July to December. And when we got back home, it had actually just arrived. So it arrived on the same day as kind of Ka fell in love with the fountain pens, and I decided that I would lend him, so I would borrow my burgundy, my first ever fountain pen to him, so he can keep using it in his Hobonichi cousin avec.
Yeah.
And that's how it began. Yeah. And you got your own Hobonichi book that day.
Because I can't at that time all the Hobonichi cousin avec were sold out.
Yeah,
so
they
I
were all
can't get
sold out,
any from Amazon, and ended up I find a shop in China, and I just ordered it from there because I keep ordering things from China, some jewelry stuff, and then I would using that chance and then just ordering the book from there. Yeah. And they were so lucky when I tried the pen in Eastbourne, and then the day at night and the book arrived, and I can actually use the book to use my own book. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It was so lucky. We were so excited, and I was of course excited for him to get his own journal as well.
Yeah. And I also I've been really craving to switch something to analog, especially writing, because I sometimes I find it really hard to write, because when I type, I can type really quick, and I can really record all the thought images, mainly images, by typing. Yeah. So the speed can synchronize with my thought, but writing, because I haven't written enough, I find it's a bit slow somehow to
physical writing.
Physical writing to externalize my thought, especially images. Because most of the time I think in visually. Yeah. And sometimes when I write screenplay or I writing short stories, a lot of images. And when writing for me is not really smooth. Yeah. Yeah, so
this is a lot you wanted to practice.
At
the time. You wanted to practice writing.
Yeah,
but it took you some time to start writing.
Yeah, it took me some time to write. I that's how I get this book. I want to practice the writing speed. Yes. Just keep writing my thought, anything in my mind. Yeah. And I think it took me maybe 2 weeks until I can do journaling, writing my daily life. When I start using the pad, I would just start with doing curve, doing drawing, doing character creating. So this is when we came back from Eastbourne, and we just start doing drawing a lot. I was thinking to do some writing, just living room. And that's it, Ilford, and that's it. And I couldn't
resist.
Resist to draw. I think somewhere I started trying to draw, but ended up just doing circle and the character creation, and then it's just the feeling of the pen. The smoothness.
I think we were up until 2 a.m. that day, both doing our journaling and stuff, even though we had a long day traveling, but we couldn't stop. And you were just doing drawing and then continuing on the previous pages and stuff. It was so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you had like some pages, like 2 weeks of backfilled pages. And eventually, you started to do
Yeah,
some writing.
eventually. This is on the 26th. It's like, I think I start...
Yeah, 2 weeks
Yeah,
almost.
two weeks. 26th of... I think 20... Yeah, 24. Yeah, I always try to write something, but ended up just, I think it's better to just like... just do some drawing to record a day. Yeah, ended up with just like drawing something on the train.
Yeah, so you were on the train.
Yeah, I
was
was
on the train.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's like visual journaling.
Yeah. Yeah, and then on the 24th, I think it's a big step for me.
Yes.
And I try to write, but I also start with drawing in the beginning, and then I feel like, I should write. This is the purpose for this book. This is the intention for this book. Yeah, and then I start writing something. Yeah, and then something. Yeah. Yeah, and then I start writing more.
Wow.
Like
once you started, you really started.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I find and then
amazing.
I start writing more, but I still didn't give up to draw for the character. I think from the 30th, and then I start drawing a lot. Yeah, and then not much character.
Yeah.
Not much drawing, but it's a little bit character. Not much like interior, like let's say the location, like the places I've been to. Mainly just a little character, like a sketchbook from one side, and then writing from one side. Yeah, and then this is like something. Because my dad went to hospital on that day, and since that day, I find it's a really good to write. Yeah, on the book.
Yeah. And
writing certain emotions.
Yeah.
And then I'll just write in English, but. Yeah, on that day, and because my dad is in Hong Kong, I'm originally from Hong Kong, and I just think about like those certain Cantonese phrases people use when people, they are in hospital or have something bad going on in their life. Yeah, and then I think since that day, I do a lot of writing and sketching to sort moving on the emotions and trying to distract myself, not think too much about that. And on the 10th of August we were in Finland. No, it's actually still in the kitchen table. Still.
We were going to
leave.
Finland.
In the afternoon. So in the morning I'm doing this, the writing, and then some of the character creation. So on Sunday, and then we arrive. No, actually on Saturday we arrive.
Late at night. Saturday we arrived, but it was past midnight into Sunday.
On Sunday. And then when I'm traveling, I just feel like I can easily get to like a relaxed, diffuse mode.
And what is diffuse mode? Because I think a lot of people might not use this term. If
diffuse
you can explain
mode
quickly. Or not like, quickly, but...
there's two phrases, like diffuse mode and focus mode. And diffuse mode is when you feel relaxed, feel calm, feel really chill, and then you can being so creative in different kind of way. And then you can do a lot of things, or like drawing, sketching, or your thought will become quite creative to think of something you normally when you're on focus mode you can't do.
Because when you focus, you're just thinking about one thing. But you can diffuse all the creativity into your head.
And this term, I don't know, is this applying to what I'm doing now when I'm trying to get relaxed, because I only can do creative thing when I'm relaxed, and then to keep working on it. But when I'm in the focus mode, I find it really hard to think of anything creatively. Personally, because sometimes it's really up to your mind, like how do you think certain things creative is really like subjective.
Yes, exactly.
And well, talk about it.
So you said that when you are... No, it's okay. I was keeping tab. So when you're on holiday, you can easily get into the diffuse mode. And when you go to Finland, often for you it's always a complete holiday.
Yeah.
So you often can switch right away to the
Yeah,
diffuse
to
mode.
right away to the diffuse mode. So I would get into more like integrate the spatial design, the interior design, because I love finished interior design, and this is actually our sister living room, and at that time it was so calm, so relaxed with the candle, and I start just do a lot of sketching and drawing.
Yeah. And if you have been in this living room, you would right away recognize it, like the bed, the rug, the plant, the window, and like the big light. And
me and now. I love it. Staying in the living room and then in the mattress. Sleeping in the mattress.
Yeah. So you did quite a lot of. I really love these upcoming pages, by the way. Just saying ahead of time.
Thank you. I also really love it. When I relax, when I chill, and I can just really enjoy so much.
Yeah.
And doing a lot of like character thing, and then
exactly. Yeah.
And then we move on to the second day. I think I keep doing a lot of sketching, like drawing. I feel like
it's so
and
good.
after I think about it, I just didn't do any writing. But it's actually capturing the location, the day.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
and often we don't have that much time to sit down by ourselves to journal. So I actually fell quite behind in my book when I was trying to do a lot of writing.
Yeah.
But you are able to just capture the whole day almost in just one picture.
Yeah.
Picture tells more than 1,000 words is very applicable here.
Yeah. Yeah, and then this is quite interesting. At that time, I just like the opposite of the flat is a Russian embassy.
Yeah.
And
so we were at another flat on the next day.
Yeah.
And it was my friend's beautiful place, and their bed, like kind of this is their living room again. Car draws it, and then opposite to theirs is the really huge Russian embassy in Helsinki. And then my friends were joking that they have like the Russian spies living there. It's a Finnish joke. Car just drew the Russian spies looking into there.
Just some cute character. They just
some cute
looking
character.
at us.
Yeah. It's really cute.
Yeah, and there's a guitar from Andres. From our friend. Yeah, and then we are also sleeping. Watching.
I was asking Ka, like, what are those things that these two characters are holding, which is me and Ka.
Yeah.
And then there are journals.
The journal. The Hobonichi book.
The Hobonichi book.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the other day we have so much fun. We went to a sauna place in like a not an island, but we're going there.
Yeah, it's like
with
an
a boat.
archipelago. I don't know how to explain it, but you need to go there with a boat.
Yeah, with a boat, and I enjoy so much. I try to. For me, like I
try not to keep touching the camera. Do you want to move a bit this way?
Yeah, move a bit.
This way. Yeah. So sorry, the camera keeps shaking.
And then I try to record the day, what it happened on that day. Yeah. And just have so much fun to record the day like this way. Yeah, and then after that, we were going to aerospace. And
my family's house.
North
of Finland.
Yeah, north of Finland, and I start more writing because I feel like I do a lot of like sketching, and I just feel like there's not much space for me to write, and I think I asked you to get this book like
Hobonichi memo pad.
Yeah, memo pad.
So it's a really thin booklet you can get from Hobonichi.
Really thin booklet.
Yeah.
Is it on that day I got it? Oh, actually.
No, you got it a bit earlier because you were running out of space on the daily pages, and I was just giving you a tip because I often used to use these Hobonichi memo pads as a way of creating extra space because it can so easily just fit in, into the thing. So you also started to use it, but a bit earlier.
But not on that day because I was saying also on that day I switched to this. Not switching, like just adding this as extension. Yeah,
I think you had the extension already when we were still in London, but you started to do a lot more drawing in here.
Yeah.
And more writing in here.
Yeah.
On this day.
Yeah. So on
I think 14. Beata's room, Helsinki, and then Helsinki. This was like stamps from Muji.
Yeah.
And then I think now we are in Oulu.
Yeah, you were
We
on
are
the
going
train
to Oulu. Oh yeah, we ran out of our. We ran out of the black ink.
The black ink, and I was using the red ink.
Yeah.
But personally, I prefer the black ink because
Yeah.
the red ink I can see it's not feeling.
Yeah,
like
you can see the marking.
Yeah, the marking. Yeah.
When you fill it in, but with black you can't really see. It's just quite solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's why I prefer the black ink.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
wow.
yeah,
So
and then
amazing.
I did it. I think on the 14 or 15. Yeah, I just trying to, yeah, it's like we went so like a bit far compared to other sketching because I have so much time when I was staying at El's place and just so calm, so relaxed.
Yeah.
And for me, when I'm relaxed, I just feel like it's easy to draw.
Yeah.
Not calm down, but like just feel good.
Yeah.
Because like in the past when I do sketching, it's like when I have the stomach pain. But this day I don't have much stomach ache, and I just it's a really easy when I feel calm, and I'll just do the sketching.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, this is actually the interior is inspired by some Pinterest interior design we're sharing on Pinterest.
Yeah, like before we moved in together, we had a Pinterest board to like share what kind of things we like.
Yeah.
Did you take it from there?
Yeah. From there.
So we can kind of like compare. Do we have the same like view on how we want the flat to look like and so on? Yeah.
Yeah, and then that was my first time using something from the internet. It's actually not my daily life images or daily life pages. Yeah, it's from internet to do this. The interior. Yeah, and then I do more sketching on here, and then there's like the view in airspace, like there's a big trampoline, some houses behind that, and then the big courtyard. Yeah.
So this has kind of flowed at the same time as
yeah.
here.
So like how I use it is sometimes I do, at that time I was thinking to write more on this book, and then I would just do drawing on that, or either I draw, because if I want to draw more, it's only one drawing for one page, and not so many pages, not other space I can do thing. That's why I extended to like the memo pad to do the sketching. Yeah, and then there's actually 17th of August. It's actually the day you were filming with. This is the day I was sitting, like me and our parents and other friends from London, and we were all sitting at the table, and then to seeing Els and we and JMV and
Lumi.
also Lumi, like talking about their notebook. And I was like listening at the same time, doing some sketching. But it's like quite like listening.
Yes.
Yeah, just like someone talk about journaling, and then just doing some sketching, and then to relax and and then to feel good.
Yeah. So if anyone has seen the first Common Corner collaboration, that's up on my channel from maybe 3 weeks ago. It was a peek into my sister's journals. So when you look at that video, Carl was in the background making this drawing.
So these are behind the scene.
Yeah, exactly.
So they were like standing there. There's Lumi, and there's the camera, and and then we're all like sitting around the table, and
I love it.
Just like
all the books are scattered. I love it.
And then to just enjoying. Yeah.
It's so good to have that memory there.
And then we tried so hard to not interrupt.
Yeah.
To not say anything. But it's good. It's really good to listen it in live. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we've now talked through.
Yeah, we talked it.
Just to pause it for a bit. You've now kind of noticed how it began for you, and you've tried to start integrating like written words as well into your journaling practice. I think you've talked quite a bit about what you like about fountain pens, and how it starts to kind of flow so smoothly when you start writing. And I remember something that Carl kept saying to our friends about fountain pen. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about it? What is the one thing that he found impressive about fountain pens?
Because it's like I can do like an automatic drawing from the fountain pen. It feels like there's the god or spirit in the pen. There's a spirit from the pen, and I can do everything automatically.
Yeah.
Because in Cantonese saying as well, it's like a God pen somehow when people
God
can
pen.
do good writing and then they just can flow easily because the pen has a certain spirit from there. And then I think like this pen is you got it from your friend.
Yes.
Yeah, and then
Yes, from
the person,
Alex. Alex
Yeah,
Thomas
shout out.
Creative. Truly a shout out to Alex.
Yeah, and then the pen has been using. Yeah, it's really. I don't know. Maybe there's some spirit from there.
Yeah.
So when I use it and I just can go with it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you talk about when the nib is being used and then it's a bit worn out and it's good to do certain, like it's easy to write and or drawing.
Yeah, I think so. Like, yes. So what I have been told is that the more you use a fountain pen nib, the more kind of accustomed it will become to the person's hand, and the more kind of smoothly it will write. And as it was a pre-used pen, and I used it, and then finally Ka used it, I guess it accumulated a lot of fountain pen spirits inside.
Yeah.
And then Ka put his pen on the paper, and it just starts creating these. So this is not actually Ka. It's actually the god or the spirit that is inside Ka's pen.
Helping
him out. Yeah. And I love that. And have you met any other spirits in other pen? Like this pen didn't have a
No.
This one doesn't have a spirit.
It's not like
exactly
like flow smoothly.
Yeah. This one just
but
flows.
this just flows so smoothly. This one.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was first using it, I thought, well, I should take it, not return it to L.
And I saw that coming. I had a feeling that Ka is getting very attached to this pen. So I was like, oh no, like I must fix this because I don't want to let go of this pen because it was my first fountain pen and I was attached to it. So then I was like, what could I do?
Yeah.
When me and Ka moved in, I gave him this fountain pen as a gift. So I thought if I give him his kind of like, really, this is really Ka style. He wears a lot of silver jewelry and it's like a monotone pen. Everything is silver. So I thought if I give him his nice pen as a gift, he will give me my pen back. So then I got him this pen, and you liked it.
Yeah.
Luckily, you liked it.
Yeah, I like it.
And then this one was actually, you got it in Finland.
Yeah, but it actually take time for me to get used to these two pens. Yeah,
yes.
I
so
still,
you still like
I
this
still
pen?
like this pen in the really beginning. But like after the trip in Finland, I've been using this a lot, and I think I add some spirit to the
exactly. Yes.
yeah,
yes.
to the pen, or like I don't know, just like connect to the pen.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then the spirit come out from the pen.
Good.
And then to helping me.
Yeah, I remember when you first started to use this, you didn't feel like the pen, it was so smooth. The curves didn't really draw smoothly and so on.
Yeah.
But eventually when you got used to it, I noticed that you were just drawing as you used to draw before as well.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, what you enjoy about fountain pens.
I think also there's one part I didn't talk about from fountain pen. It's like when I draw like the feedback from the fountain pen, or just the feeling, just make me feel like my heart is melting when I've been using it for maybe 1 hour. If I keep non-stoply, and I just feel like all the feeling, all the just like once, just really feel me, like make me feel good.
Yeah.
Somehow I don't know how to talk about it. Just like really relaxed.
That. Yeah. I also found like using fountain pen is so healing for me.
Yeah.
Because it's just like the ink is flowing out.
Yeah.
The ink is flowing out, and then kind of you are also flowing with the ink.
Yeah.
So I like that analogy of your heart is melting as you keep doing it, and the ink is flowing out. And
and also,
something is flowing. From
yeah,
you
and also recently I just talk about because like my dad in the hospital. I have so much emotion like about him, and then for me, I used to talk to Elle. I'm really difficult to cry, but I really want to cry. All the time, like not all the time, like just sometimes to let out the emotions. But still, like I find it really difficult to let out through crying. And these days, I feel like when I do a lot of drawing, and then the ink flowing from the pen is actually the tear from myself, and it's like a really like a metaphor analogy for me. When I do a lot of drawing, I just release the emotions, release the feeling I have through the ink from the pen. Yeah.
Has it helped you like process what's been going on with your dad?
Yeah, it has been. It has been like, but sometimes I can't think too much. It's like certain things like I can't. It's just too much.
Yeah.
And then those emotions, the only thing to the only thing to do is just like let it be, or like to not think too much and not overthink. But sometimes you overthink, but he's okay, he's fine, but somehow I just overthink too much. It's like in my imagination or in my mind, just overthink, and then sometimes I just get scared of my imagination. But when I do drawing and then just a lot of like sketching, especially I was talking about like this one. Oh, should we talk this? There's another book. It's like a notebook from Hobonichi as well. But this book is like my main sketching practice these days.
Yeah, so you finished this notebook very quickly.
I finished this book like maybe one week.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So then you were like, okay, is there anything else from Hobonichi that you can use?
Yeah.
Because I guess that's the thing of why Hobonichi. You said you like the paper.
I like the paper.
Exactly. So you asked, is there something else from Hobonichi? And then I was like, yeah, they have the notebooks, and they just happen to have this on Amazon, and like. You like the cover. I quite like the cover as well. It's really cool.
You said if I like the cat.
Huh?
You asked me if I like the cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like the cat?
I like the cat, but I'm allergic to cats. So it's like, hey, like.
Yeah. So then you got this one, which has then a lot more pages than just this really, really thin memo pad. Yeah.
And then it's really good to use this, which like that's not. But I wish they have some date, and I can know, and I don't need to write down. Sometimes I keep forgetting. Like to writing the time and then the date. And then this book is mainly for me to sketching or some creative idea, and then I just want to leave this book as a journaling book. So seen here, from maybe 21st, I received this book when I arrived. When we arrived back to London, and then I just do a lot of like writing on this book. There's not much on the other pages.
A few empty pages.
Because I switch everything to this, and I do a lot of sketching on this book, and I don't have much like drawing on this book now. But it's good for me to writing emotions, feelings, and thoughts, and just like some thought from my mind, and I just can keep writing it. And then I really like the book, like to do the sketching, and then I think this book is more, the paper is slightly different. But it's like thin. I don't know, like I don't know how to describe it, but it's slightly different. Like the color or the tone. It's slightly different. But I like for this book, it's mainly for my what the character I created is for my digital artwork to get into the creative headspace, and I can relax, and then to create something, some 3D animation, because this day I start a new project. It's a 3D animation. It's my personal project, and I really want you to put all this character in that animation world.
Should we at this point, like, I can put on screen a few of the characters that you've created? And there you can kind of see the resemblance between your drawings and that 3D animation. So I'll put a few, maybe of the octopus.
Maybe the octopus dancing one. Like you might see it on the video, and
I don't know how to put a video, but I can just put a photo.
Maybe a photo. Maybe you can just like look at the Instagram page. But those artwork is really so like the book is like a starting for me to get to the headspace to create, because these days I still find it but since I using a lot of analog like method to create, I find the digital space for me is I can't go smoothly now. Because it's quite opposite to like 3 years ago, because I find it like writing in digitally, I find it more smoothly. But for visually, like I think sketching I can go more smoothly than digital software. And because you use, some people, if you do Illustrator or like animation might know Blender. I started using Blender 2 months ago. It's a 3D modeling software, but I find it just sometimes I had to learn, and then it can't just go smoothly. I don't have the same feeling when I create character on the sketchbook.
And then would you relate that to the question of how do you see your practice going in the future? because you've been talking quite a lot about, you know, you keep using this drawing as a method to create new ideas because you can get into that diffuse mode so easily.
Yeah.
And then slowly you're kind of moving these creations you've done analog, you're moving them into the 3D world that you've created.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the practice. Just start with the idea, conceptual idea, or like some visual idea by drawing. Because this day I always carrying a bag that size of the bag can just fit in all of them, all the book.
Nice, yeah.
And then I always carry them every day, every single day. So when I feel inspired, now we just do sketching on that book. And later on, I can put in the 3D world for my digital art world. So this is really good for me to start with idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any other thoughts you want to add in terms of kind of the future of your creative practice, or we can leave that for another time as well?
Yeah, maybe another time. Because now, so far, I just see it as mainly. I think it's keep like switching for how I use it.
Yeah,
like slightly because now I'm more like doing I'm doing more character in the beginning and then switching to more like architecture, what my background was, some sculpture thing, but mainly they are just 2D, and I wish I could add more color on it because mainly everything is like black and white.
Yeah.
And I cannot I want color now. Because in the beginning I want black and white because I want everything keep it so simple.
Yeah.
Minimalism. So only silhouette, light, and one color to focus on, and I can just do a lot of character, shape. Yeah. And then now there's the some kind of stamp we make. I make for the character I create, and I as a company they make a stamp for me, and I can to play around with the character and then that's actually the name of my digital art project name. And then this is
he created
Finland.
This for me. It says Finland, and there's a little Moomin guy there. And maybe actually we don't have the stamps right here next to us, so I'm gonna remind myself to show you next week what the stamps look like in real life. But Carl created this one for me, where there's a little Moomin guy and a suitcase, and then looking at the Finland mark. It's really cool. I really love all of them. And this idea actually came from when we were in Muji in Helsinki, Finland. They have the biggest Muji in Europe, and they have a stamping section. And Ka actually found this kind of a similar manufacturer who does the same stamps from Muji. And you are just able to kind of upload your design for them in a vector format, and then they will send you the stamp of your design.
I send them like a Illustrator file,
exactly.
A digital file.
And he created these different ones. They're so cool.
So I actually, this character is I created like a crying character created
is this
from
the
that
original
day. Yeah,
one?
there's the original
Whoa,
one.
yeah, so this is the original one, and you created the actual stamp of it.
Yeah, and then there's the actual stamp.
And it's a crying one.
Yeah, because I find it, it's for me to release my sadness and emotion toward my dad. And and then do this kind of character to cry because I'm not able to cry.
Yeah, it's a really good way, Carl. It's a really good way.
And this is I don't know what the practice gonna be in the future, but I think in the future I will try to move everything I create in the analog space to digital. And also to see what the connection is, and to see how I can do more character creation in that digital world. Because I think for me the whole sketching the character development, I always thinking about to externalize it to make it as 3D because 3D. That's why I specialize in.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm really excited to see these guys in 3D.
I actually did something. We did some sculpture, some flower. Some of the architecture, like this kind of windmill. And then actually create a 3D and then the rotating, some animation. But I haven't done any new character yet. It's all the octopus teacher guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking about Carl's personal project.
Yeah, the personal project.
Yeah, I put some photos of it previously.
Yeah.
I hope I remembered. If I haven't, I'll make sure that you can see it in some way.
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is in. Yeah, you've made that in 3D.
Yeah, inspired by this.
Yeah, inspired by that. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Should we move on to some of the questions?
Yeah,
I think we've been chatting for a while.
Yeah.
For a good 55 minutes. There's actually a few questions that we've received, and I'm not sure how we can answer all of these. Maybe you've already kind of talked about how you use the cousin for kind of nurturing and organizing, documenting your creative process. You kind of just use it on a daily manner almost, to see whatever is on the mind. But do you have anything to add to that question?
Yeah, mainly just something I find it. I think I always start with just using the fountain pen to feel the smoothness.
Yeah.
For almost maybe, let's say, just randomly sketching randomly for maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then get to the stage where I can do some creation from that.
Yeah.
And sometimes you require like 1 hour to get to the flow, but I really like the process from even from the beginning when I use the pen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah. And I guess here the paper is important as well from the Hobonichi.
The paper. Yeah.
The Tomoe River paper. And I think maybe this person is asking also, do you use the other aspects of the cousin for your creation, like the monthly or weekly calendar? Because this also comes with the monthly and weekly calendar.
Yeah, I think I don't.
You haven't used it?
Yeah, I haven't used much. This is something like we did to. Yeah, it's from L. This.
Yeah, and then you did this. I was just testing it out.
Yeah, I don't think I did. I didn't do much for the monthly and weekly one.
Yeah.
I'm doing some planning, but now I have like a weekly book to do all the planning, so I switched to that book. Yeah. So now it's mainly empty. Okay. Like I didn't use much. Yeah. Because sometimes I find it personally, I try to keep everything simple, minimal. Yes. When it's too many things, I find it hard to, like my brain just, I feel it's too busy to think of like other things to use it. Yeah, now I because I'm still a beginner, I just use it like 2 months ago.
Yeah, exactly. You just start with using the daily page.
Yeah, and then I haven't thought about how to use this page. Yeah,
and that's no problem at all. Yeah, and you are using now the Hobonichi weeks to do more like admin planning and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because I want to switch, like using like a separate book for all the admin work related stuff.
Yeah, I really feel
that's how I get inspired by you.
I know.
You went after, that time when you talk about.
Yeah. I think Ka was here in person when I was talking about my Hobonichi weeks. So you were able to hear that, my justification for why I started using the weeks. Yeah.
Because they say we live together, so when I was filming, I always like in the kitchen table and then to listening, and I also do some writing and sketching and journaling together. Actually.
That's really fun. Yeah, it's nice to have that company. Then there's a few questions about your artistic style. So how do you grow into your own artistic style? This is quite a difficult question.
Yeah, it's really good question. Yeah, I because I haven't thought about it a lot. And then, but I've been always struggling the style, like how to stick with a certain style. I think recently I've been thinking of switching style in terms of different projects. Let's say the guy sketch, the M Bali, the digital work I created on my Instagram. Those artwork is like in the past is like more colorful, and these days are black and white, and like last week I'm thinking to switch to more colorful. But I feel like it's hard to really stick with the same style. But that's how I tried really hard to stick with it. And then because I still think about how can I play around with like current style. They still have so many things to play around with.
Yeah,
it's like
just
a
the black and white.
Yeah, just black and white, and then just like a form. Yeah, and I can still have a lot of things to play with.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how I grow into my own artistic style. I think in the beginning I did a lot of research and what I like, what I don't like.
Yeah.
And a lot of like gallery visiting.
Yeah.
And a lot of writing, a lot of idea developing in the really beginning. I think gallery and researching in the beginning is a lot, and sometimes find it's really good to look at those researching in the beginning to remind myself why I stick with the style and then not changing it.
Yeah, exactly.
But sometimes it's good to change it, but it's good to look at, because like it's as a artist or creator, it's like always, because the whole process is like we have come up with new idea again and again. Sometimes it's really hard to stick with one style, because you really want to try break the boundaries, try different kind of thing, learning different new method, new tool, and ended up. I think recently I've been thinking if I should learn new software for my digital art, and I feel like I should just stick with my original. I think it's not the right timing to change a bit of style. It's not the good timing yet, because I still have a lot to play with, and they require me to think of in the first place how did I start it, why I started with this style, and questioning myself. Yeah, I think I learned a lot of this from my design background. I always questioning why. Yeah.
Yeah, why? That's really interesting, and I think this was kind of directed to both of us. And I think while I'm consistent with the notebooks that I use and the system that I use, I think my style within those notebooks changes over time. And I don't do as much of kind of drawing as you do, but I do a bit of sketching here and there. And I feel like the things that I sketch about really stay the similar. I'm quite often doing portraits, and I'm doing it in that one style. And for me, when it comes to my drawing practice, that style kind of has stayed the same for so long. And I'm not a very I'm not very talented when it comes to drawing, so I don't draw a lot of different things. I've learned how to draw one thing, and I just draw that one thing in multiple different ways, if that makes sense. So I draw a lot of portraits, but they all have a similar style, and I just really like drawing those portraits over and over and over again. I guess I have a few examples in this notebook of those portraits. So this kind of portrait with like usually a bald head, certain kind of emotion, and then a long neck, and then you can see this here as well, for example, kind of similar vibe, and a bit later on as well. So my style doesn't really change that much, I guess. Whereas when it comes to my creative style in terms of my photography and... Oh, it's the same one. Maybe it was somewhere else. Oh, here, yeah. When it comes to my photography and stuff, I think I don't really think about what my style is. I always just follow my gut, and as a result of that, my style evolves with me. But I think your art is quite professional, and you really put a lot of thought into it, and I think that's why you are really an artist, because of how intentional your style is and how you're able to recognize different kind of styles within your own practice. So I really like that. But yeah, just some reflections on that. How do you feel about skipping any part of your planner? And this is, I guess, these are for both of us.
Yeah.
I personally always backfill every single page because I want to keep those memories alive from that page. And I think that shows in just even in this past week's pages, where yesterday I was so tired after my day at the hospital that I didn't do any journaling in the evening. Today I did some, but then I ended up making my usual backfilled page box. I always make a box around the page when I'm backfilling it, and I will be filling this in slowly to make sure that I have my memories from the day kept. So I don't mind if a page is empty, but at the same time it's difficult for me to say that I don't mind because there's no page that is empty in this whole book. So I'm a certain way when it comes to that, but I noticed that you have certain pages.
Yeah. yeah, I sometimes just don't have, just forget to
Yeah.
like some pages, especially recently because I switched some of the sketching to my other book, yeah, this one, and yeah, I just have some of the pages it's not, yeah, it's empty. Yeah, yeah.
And how do you feel about it?
I feel quite quite empty. Yeah.
Have I
But now I
influenced
feel,
you?
huh?
No, don't feel influenced.
Yeah, but it's normally I don't really look at
Yeah, you don't flip through
my
them.
I don't flip through them.
Yeah.
Apart from my this book, the sketching book, I always look through them. Because sometimes I just
Yeah.
to make it as a digital artwork, I will look at it again and tend to rethink of it.
Mm-hmm.
But some of my writing, for me, I never look at my writing. Yeah, that's because like my writing is for me to just releasing the word, the feeling. But sometimes I can't recognize my word.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like somehow practicing my speed and
Yeah.
also to let my thought out. And yeah, and then I don't really look back these days.
But if you don't look back, then I guess you don't see those.
Yeah, I don't see that.
pages.
Yeah,
I
that's why it wouldn't affect me much.
Yeah.
But I yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't want to look back these days.
Yeah.
But I think maybe it's like 2 months later because I just started just 2 months
Exactly.
ago.
Exactly.
And I don't have the habit to look back.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and then it will keep changing, I think. Absolutely. And I think it kind of comes quite obvious now that we've been talking about things. There was a question of, does it bother you to not have the freedom to change the layout of your weeks and days? And I think when it comes to the layout of the days, you're quite free. You just go and you do whatever you want. So in a way you do keep changing the layout. Maybe, I guess the question might be like asking that, do we wish there was more daily pages or something like that? Or we could change it so that there was more than just one page per day.
Yeah, I wish I have more daily pages, but sometimes it's hard. Like let's say on that day I just want 1 page, but sometimes I want 2 to 3 pages.
Exactly.
And that's why I switched to this book, and
Exactly.
I can go more freely for the
It's okay, I'll blur it out.
yeah for the and it's good to have this for like more freely. Yeah, and then I think for I was more limited somehow on the Hobonichi
Yeah.
cousin.
Yeah.
Like more limited by the layout. Yeah, but sometimes it's fine. Yeah, I don't really to pay so much attention to the layout. And in terms of when sketching, I'm quite good. But like for writing, I think the layout is good enough for me to just following the grid. I find because I have really big problem with find it really annoying if I don't write it neat. Let's say let's say I find it, let's say this is a bit messy and I don't want to look at it again. That make me like, this would be kind of like abandon this kind of test or this kind of writing. But I look at writing like this in each block, and I find it really satisfying, and I love it. I wish I could have this book early when I was young. Because while in the school, I make me so unhappy, or like feel bad when I using some note they don't have grid. It's like a plain A4. I can't write notes on like A4 paper.
Plain paper.
Yeah.
So it made you so unhappy to not have the grid.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people can feel you on that. There's like often conversation about how grid is the superior way to write.
Yeah, like let's say this. I don't think I can write so neat like
on just the plain paper. Yeah. I wish this was gridded. I wish it was. Personally, I love the layout of the Hobonichi avec. I don't want to change anything about it, so it doesn't bother me at all to not have the freedom to change it. Yes, okay. What number thing inspires you most about each other's journaling style?
You want to talk about it first? I can.
I think for me, actually, yes. I think number one thing is that inspires me from Ka's journaling is the way that he journals, is visual. And I think ever since he started to do that, which was, after July, I have slowly introduced some more drawing into my notebooks, for example here, which I really didn't used to do that much. But I've just wanted to draw more after Ka has, after like I've been seeing how he journals. I have been trying to draw more, which has been really fun. Biggest kind of example of that is just like from the previous week where I did 2 drawings on one spread. And I think there was another page as well where I had done some drawing. Where was it? Here, here, and then drawing here as well, and here. Like I've started to include little pieces of drawings in my books, because I really didn't used to do that much previously. And here as well, it's still very much in my own style. It's still very minimal drawing compared to Ka's, but I would love to do that more. I've kind of kept saying that quite a bit, that I want to do more drawing in my books. So I think that's kind of the biggest thing, probably. Yeah. And I still want to do it more. And I've included some of Ka's words here in my book. But I want to do more drawing. I think that's the one thing, biggest thing from me. And also to just be more carefree with my pages. I like to think that I am quite carefree. I just do whatever I want to do. And I don't have much, it seems like I have much structure, but that's just how my brain works. So it will always be with structure, but I just try to be a bit more free with it. Yeah.
Yeah, now I just look at your book. I just feel like, in the beginning I actually get so much inspiration from Elle, like how I can use my Hobonichi book to do, like how to utilize it, how to use the layout, and then I need some guidance. I think the number one thing inspired me the most is actually how to write it separately. There's how to
the columns,
the column thing.
And
how to do it like this. That's how I use it. And also writing time and location, and location. And column. That's how I pick up in my journaling. For the Hobonichi Captain Abbott. So I do this like column and the time, and then the location. But I'm trying to do like really simple, minimal. And then just writing.
I like that.
And I also really like the sticker from Elle. That's like remind me of my old art practice. I do a lot of like collage. And also my childhood, I like collecting sticker. And I really like how she like used the stick things on the book. Basically for me, I maybe have something like just maybe 1 to 2 page, something really meaningful for me like this. The letter from Elle. And I would put in the book, but I barely put anything in the book.
I have some stickers.
Some sticker.
Some
sticker. Like it's really special.
Exactly.
When there's a sticker, it's really special.
Yes.
Moment for me when something.
I like that you keep it that when when the sticker is there, it's there for a reason. Because I often use my stickers just like because I have fun using them. But there's a sticker for every page almost. So as a result of that, the sticker being there isn't anything unusual. So when you use stickers, then it's gonna be something special, which is nice.
But I think it's just the style, because for me, I just not so confident to use a sticker still. So but I try to make. I will try. It's fun. I really like, but I don't want to switch the style. And but I still at the same time want to try the sticker. And now I feel, should I get it for a sticker I collage? But just thinking.
I think you can use I'm always like, you can use the same book for whatever you want. So if you want to use stickers here, I think it's okay. And I guess, I think that says to you that you have you want to keep one style in one book. That's how. You want to keep it consistent.
And keep it consistently.
Okay, last few things. I think we've been chatting for like 1 hour and 15 minutes now. So thank you to everyone who stayed until here. I think this video is going to be very unedited and just like a podcast. So, but it's a really special memory.
Yeah.
I think we'll be looking back on this video
Yeah,
quite a lot
I
in the
enjoy
future.
so much to talk through.
Yeah.
Everything. 'Cause since I used to.
Exactly.
The
We've
system.
rarely reflected to this extent
Yeah.
in one conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here, Ka.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. So there's a few more questions that are directed to both of us. These were all, again, from the community tab. Thank you once again for asking these questions. So do we journal together, or do we have different times that we prefer to journal or plan? I think these days, because I've now started university and I'm going to hospital in the very early mornings, we don't have our same routine anymore as that we had when we had moved into this flat, and I was still on summer holiday. So at this time, I think the time that we do journal together is in the evenings after dinner. When we are kind of winding down, I would be sitting here at my common corner, and then to answer the next question, Ka, where do you journal, Ka? Where do you journal?
I normally journal like in the kitchen table, but we're still unpacking stuff. We haven't ordered some furniture yet, so normally I just. But sometimes I do I journal outside, like whenever I want. Yeah, just something I really want to write it down. Yeah. There's always have so many thoughts when I walk around and then when outside. Yeah, but
we both journal quite a bit when we're doing just our daily things outside. Yeah,
but it's really good to for us, like sometimes you really to remind me to journal. Sometimes I just forget, or like I don't have the thought, but when you do journaling, I feel it's good to do a bit sketching, a bit journaling. Yeah,
because I think I've built quite a habit, like for now over a year, sitting down every evening to do journaling. Yesterday was like the first time in a really long time that I didn't do it because I fell asleep at 8 p.m. Had a good sleep though, so that was great. So I have quite a habit in the evening to sit down here, and then I think that's usually when Ka would also sit down in the kitchen table, which is in the same room. We have quite a long open plan living room and kitchen, so Ka would sit down at the kitchen table. But before we got the kitchen table, we would actually sit here.
Yeah.
And we would journal.
Switching.
Yeah, we would kind of switch. Ka would be here journaling, and then I would be asking, please, can I now? It's my turn.
Because it's the only table in the flat at the time.
Yeah.
And then we eat also in this table.
Yeah, we even ate at this table, and sometimes we would do journaling together, but it would be really tight space. There's indeed a size limitation. That's one of the reasons that we're considering getting a full-sized round table for the common corner, so that we can eat here sometimes, because we have a really nice view from the balcony, which is just next to me. I've just realized that the sun has gone down and it's gotten dark, and the candle is really providing us some candlelight.
Yeah, it's so cozy.
Yeah, so cozy. I think that kind of answers it all. We talked about how we like the small grid in the Hobonichi.
Yeah. I like the grid.
Yeah.
I really like the grid.
Me too. I really like it. So we keep
help
within
me
it.
to write it neat.
Exactly.
And also more organized. Everything.
Exactly.
And I can use it like just a guideline for me.
Exactly. A really good guideline.
It's really good.
We like it. We like it. We're big Hobonichi fans in this household.
Oh, and also I think I didn't talk about this. Did I talk about to you? Like the small grid remind me of my primary school or like secondary school notebook from school, or some of the book from the school when I was studying in Hong Kong, and then they always have like a small grid.
I didn't know that.
Book,
okay.
Especially for maths, for mathematics, and also for I think mainly for mathematics, and then they are all free notebook from the school.
Okay.
Yeah, but of course the paper is not the same, and then they don't have color for the grid. But I've been using it when I was in when I was a kid.
Yeah, like the really small grid.
The really small grid, and then
Yeah.
I really like it.
Good.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
that's nice.
Yeah, and then it wouldn't remind me of like mathematic homework because I don't want to think about the homework.
Yeah.
But like it's really good memory.
Yeah, like childhood.
Childhood memory because I
Yeah.
really miss those memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really good.
Good addition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Carl, for sharing everything.
Yeah.
I hope that this gave everyone behind the screen or sitting around the common corner a better idea of who you are and how you use your notebooks. As you're, quite an important part of my life. So I will refer to you, and now everyone has a bit of an introduction video to you.
Yeah.
And I think just like with my sisters, I'll be coming back to them and their journals with time and seeing how they they evolve in their journaling practice. I think I would like to also extend that invitation to you, Carl, that we'll come back in 6 months or a year.
Yeah,
to check
and see
in,
the change.
check in how you're using it.
How
Exactly.
how you go, and it's good. But thank you so much for the opportunity. And also it's
For
good
being so
and for
formal.
people, for the audience to
Yes.
listen, and it's
Yeah.
my I don't know, I just feel so good to sharing this, because I don't really have a chance to, not much chance to reflect until people ask. And thank you for all the questions you guys asked, and really good for me to reflecting.
Exactly.
Yeah, my system and my art practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if there's any further questions, please do comment them or leave them in the community tab, and we'll try our best to answer them as well later on.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess with that, we'll say goodbye. I will see you in the next video next Sunday, maybe talking about the stamps, and then also going through the weekly flip through that we didn't have time as expected in this video. All right, let's go do some grocery shopping now.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye bye.